Do you think that Bill Cosby has been doing the black community in America a disservice for years?
I think he has. I think look, as an American comedian, he's a genius. One of the 2 or 3 greatest American comedians that we've ever seen, along with Richard Pryor and Mark Twain, and maybe Lenny Bruce and George Carlin. So there's no question that he's a remarkable rhetorician. There's no question that his insight as an American entertainer has been extraordinary, and his pioneering career. However, that doesn't translate into the social analysis realm. He has used his enormous wealth and his philanthropy to, I think, undermine and subvert the very practices of decency and respect to ordinary, average black people. I think he has used his bully pulpit to rain down thunder upon them, and I think he has been incredibly unfair. Let me give you one example. We were all gathered in New Orleans after Katrina, and Reverend Jesse Jackson and Reverend Al Sharpton and Mark Morial and myself were leading a march, and we spoke. Mr. Cosby spoke as well. The rest of us were saying, let's defend these people who have been dispersed. Mr. Cosby got up and said, look, you were messed up before the storm came. You were having murders before the storm came. You were having babies out of wedlock before the storm came. And he began to get on a roll of, I think, attacking defenseless people. That kind of thing is not helpful. It reinforces racist stereotypes about black people. It doesn't shed light on the persistence of structural inequalities that prevail, and it allows him to get off on poor people, which is a sport in America that I think is defenseless, and we have to indefensible, and we have to hold him to account and be as vigorously critical as one can imagine.
What has been your relationship with Mr. Cosby over the years, Doctor?
Look, after my book appeared, Is Bill Cosby Right, or Has the Black Middle Class Lost Its Mind? Predictably, Mr. Cosby did not feel very well. So I saw him in a restaurant one night. Long story short, outside, he gave me the finger. The next morning, we were on a train together from New York to Washington to Philadelphia. He apologized to me, and then we had a vigorous conversation. I invited him onto my radio show. He said, I will not come on your show until you are enlightened and see the truth. I think there's a kind of arrogance about Mr. Cosby that believes his way is the only way. And unfortunately, we weren't able to resolve our differences in terms of an amicable conversation, but certainly we've tried to prosecute our differences the best way we know how.
What would you tell Bill Cosby today? What would your counsel to him be?
I would say, first of all, that I hope that you would reconsider that the position you're in now, that others have felt this way for 10 years. That is to say, attacked unfairly, unjustly, assaulted, and therefore use your particular predicament now. And you are owed the presumption of innocence until guilt is proved. You are owed not to be hung by a jury in the court of public opinion. But at the same time, you are also, I think, responsible as a celebrity and a figure who is a public person to own up to discussions about issues that have been brought before us. So he's right about the media. Nobody should rush to judge him, but at the same time, I think when we consider the evidence that is weighing against him, any fair-minded person would have to say, are 20 to 25 women wrong? The same thing happened in the Catholic Church when the accusations began to mount up. Again, there's no judgment. We assume that he's innocent until proven guilty. But we must have a vigorous conversation, and I would say to him, own up, tell the truth, talk about black America, talk about your particular ideas about us, and at the same time, be honest about your situation.
Dr.